Hi everybody, I'm Tom Bryson with City of Farmers Branch. Through the years of growing any city, a comprehensive plan serves as the blueprint for development, guiding private enterprise and city leaders according to an approved vision for the coming years. However, those plans will periodically need updating. Right now, the section of the comprehensive plan that deals with the central area of the city, that is from about Stemmons Freeway on over to Midway Road, is up for public discussion. But before that, here's Farmers Branch Planning Director Andy Gillies with some important background.
The Central Area Plan is to become the new comprehensive plan for the central area of the City of Farmers Branch. Comprehensive plans are the planning documents cities use to decide future development issues and zoning requests. We started developing this new plan in October of 2010. Goal number 3 of the 2012 City's Strategic Plan states it should provide a strong, thriving commercial and residential neighborhood through planning, land use, development, code enforcement, revitalization activities, and programs. As part of that goal, a strategy was established to complete the Central Area Plan in 2012. The overall area within the City of Farmers Branch is about 12.5 square miles. The central area is about 6.5 square miles. The basic boundaries of the central area are on the west, Stemmons Freeway, or 35 East. To the south, LBJ Freeway, or 635. To the north, Valwood, Fike, and Beltline, and on the east side, approximately Marsh Lane. The original comprehensive plan for the city was adopted in 1989. In 2003, the city adopted a new comprehensive plan for the west side. Now we're trying to get one established for the central area. Most comprehensive plans include some basic information like land use, transportation, and basic community profile information. Our particular central area plan also tried to include some other elements such as a community vision section, a neighborhood's redevelopment strategy section, and retail strategies. Within the community profile section, we analyzed the current conditions, development benchmarks within the city. This chapter provides a breakdown of existing land use and housing as well as demographics. Most of our city's residential property is located within the central area, about 88%. Another important fact that came out of this chapter was that over 85% of our single-family housing is now over 40 years of age. The community profile chapter also looks at population and demographics. For example, our current population in the City of Farmers Branch is about 28,600 people. The North Central Texas Council of Government is estimating our population could be as much as 43,000 by the year 2030. We also looked at things such as population age pyramid, as this figure shows. This pyramid shows that we have more residents over the age of 65 than the state average, but we also have more residents in the age cohort of between age 25 and 34 than the state average. A good sign, showing basically that there are young families that are locating in Farmers Branch. Another big part of our central area plan was the development of a community visionings chapter. This particular section of the report dealt with getting public input over the 2-year period. We started this with a public forum held in October of 2010 at the Mansky Library. We had over 125 people show up for this initial public forum. At this forum, we asked people 6 basic questions, and we had small group discussions on those questions and followed it up with some electronic keypad polling questions. The responses we got from this public hearing, we were able to form the future direction of the rest of this document. Like all comprehensive plans, the inclusion of a future land use plan was an important part of this particular document. Because most of the land within the central area has already been developed, we focused mostly on anticipated areas of redevelopment. For example, along 635, the 35 corridor, even Beltline, and of course the central area of the city in which all our single-family detached housing is located. The Central Area Plan also includes a chapter on transportation and circulation. Within this chapter, we include a thoroughfare plan of all the major roads within the central portion of the city. In addition, we looked at the advantageous position our city has along two federal highways, 35 East and 635, and that both highways are currently either under expansion or planned for expansion in the near future. What this means to the city is that in the next 20 years, we could actually see a decrease in the internal volume of traffic within our city, with the potential of reducing some of the traffic within our internal roadways. We have the opportunity of putting our roads on a diet, meaning we can convert some of our outer lanes into bike lanes, wider sidewalks, even more landscaping. We can also increase some of our medians. This particular slide shows kind of a before and after of Valley View looking towards Webb Chapel. Road dieting can also work on local streets, for example, Templeton Trail. This slide shows a before and after of what Templeton Trail could look like with wider sidewalks, a median placed in the middle, and some sort of neighborhood recognition monument leading into the neighborhood. The keystone chapter in the Central Area Plan is the Neighborhood Redevelopment Strategy section. Within this particular portion of the report, we looked at all the Central Area's neighborhoods. We divided them up into 20 different areas, and we analyzed each of these neighborhoods based on housing conditions, street conditions, sidewalks, proximity to schools and shopping, even demographics. From that neighborhood analysis, we also came up with what portions of the city need the most rehabilitation, which ones need to be basically preserved as they are. Based on this neighborhood analysis we did, we also came up with a walkability map of the central area of the city. The dark green areas on this exhibit show the areas that have the best walkability or pedestrian access within the 20 neighborhoods. One of the common strategies throughout all of the central area neighborhoods is to create a better variety of housing inventory throughout all these neighborhoods. The idea of creating life cycle housing is an important part of the Central Area Plan. By this, I mean we provide many options for living within the central area of the city, from apartments to single-family detached to townhomes to senior living opportunities, even assisted living. Within this chapter, we also looked at multifamily communities. We have 20 multifamily communities within the city. We have 9 within the central area. All 9 of these multifamily communities within the central area are at least 25 years old and are appropriate locations for new residential development. For example, we have a lot of apartments that are 2-story, what is called garden-style apartments. The new direction of a high-density 3 to 5-story development would be much more appropriate for the next 20 years within many of these multifamily areas. One area of the city poised for redevelopment is the Valwood-Josie Lane section. It includes multifamily, open space, and a creek, Cook's Creek, as well as a retail center to the south. All 3 of these elements need to be coordinated into redevelopment. This slide gives you some examples of how that area might be redeveloped over the next 20 years, including a more naturalized waterway in the central portion of the area, as well as some trails running along the creek, And finally, the inclusion of some new retail along that portion of Valwood Parkway. Other redevelopment opportunities in the next 20 years might include the Stemmons Freeway or I-35 East Corridor and Beltline Corridor into more entertainment and restaurant type of retail uses. In conclusion, the Central Area Plan developed 6 basic goals that should be established over the next 20 years. They are, number 1, provide quality, diverse, and attractive neighborhoods, making Farmers Branch a community for a lifetime. 2, create vibrant retail centers that bring together and meet the needs of Farmers Branch residents. 3, continue to make Farmers Branch a city in the park. Continuing those goals, number 4, provide and maintain efficient and attractive roadways that accommodate motorists, bicyclists, and pedestrians. 5, ensure that the city's infrastructure systems are able to support revitalization and future growth needs. And 6, make Farmers Branch a sustainable community where residents can live, work, and play.